Hello, Leo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self to ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve? As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I still have the tarot deck I'll be using, the clarification deck, and the advice deck that I'll be closing out the reading with in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Leo, let's jump on in. In your recent past, you have release blocks with the Moon card. Your recent past was having to work through and face a lot of fear. I feel, with the release blocks card, this was maybe a period of letting go of things that weren't serving you or being removed from situations that weren't good for you. But when we go through a period like that, it can kind of just feel like our life's falling apart. It can kind of just feel like things aren't working out, like the world is against you and out to get you and all of these things. But I don't actually feel like that's what this is at all. I feel as if the universe was taking you out of situations and relationships that were actually blocking your ability to have what it is you truly desired. So what I'm gathering from this is that these situations weren't as good as it could get for you, and the universe will never let us settle where we're not meant to settle, because the universe will always lead us toward our highest good, even if it means kind of shaking things up for us so that we make changes, or kind of pulling us out of situations so that we move forward in some way. Right now, you have take the lead with the Ace of Wands. This is a very powerful energy, especially with the overall theme of this reading being courage. This is about having the confidence to show up for yourself. A lot of people spend a lot of time waiting on other people to show up for them, on other people to value them, on other people to see them in the way they want to be seen. And this is about doing those things for yourself. If you know you're deserving of more, show up for that. Do what you need to do to create more. A lot of times that can mean leaving behind people in situations that don't allow us to experience what it is we're truly deserving of. And as you step into this, because this is power, this is you realizing that you are the creator of your life, and as you show up for what you're deserving of starts to show up for you. And this is about really understanding that you are the leader of your life. This is what the take the lead is. We don't create what we desire. We don't manifest what we desire. We manifest what we believe. And if we don't believe that we are capable, loving, deserving, we are going to show up believing that we're not capable, loving, and deserving, which means we're going to create situations that align with making us feel incapable, unlovable, and undeserving. And that's why in your immediate future, you have love with the Magician. As you start to show up with this unconditional love for yourself, and you start to know you are deserving of good things, you're capable, you know your heart, you know your intentions, good people deserve good things. When you start to show up with that energy, that starts to manifest in your life, because our life is a reflection of what's going on within us. If we believe we are deserving of good things, we're going to experience good things. If we believe we're not going to experience those good things. And so what I'm gathering from this reading so far is you were taken out of situations that didn't align with you, that couldn't be what it is that you're truly deserving of. And now it's taking your power back from those situations and saying, I don't need you to value me. I don't need you to see my worth, because I value me and I see my worth. And as you start showing up with that energy, you start to manifest things that directly reflect that energy back to you. So, very positive overall energy. Let's dive into the story here. So let's start, Leo, by looking at your recent past. Release blocks with the Moon card. One more. Release blocks with the Moon card. Lack of clarity. in your recent past, needing to see, because this is not seeing what's really going on. The Ace of Swords in reverse can be an energy of projection, seeing things through the lens of our fear, our insecurity, which, I mean, you have the Moon card. There was a lot of fear. And I feel as if you gave that fear a lot of power, which happens sometimes. It's not like you were doing anything wrong, but your fear was telling you, oh, you're never going to have anything better, nothing good's ever going to happen, you've lost your chance of happiness, whatever the case might be. And you maybe went through a period of believing it, believing that you couldn't have good things, believing that you weren't capable, loving, and deserving, because maybe that's what your fear was, projecting back to you. So I definitely feel as if the experience of your past and the way that you perceive it was a little bit of an illusion. So for instance, if you gave everything you had to a relationship and that relationship ended up falling apart, that to you could make you go, oh, I'm not good enough, because no matter how much I gave, it still wasn't enough. That was your fear talking. That's your fear saying you're not good enough, and that's being reflected back at you in this moment. In reality, what the situation could have been is the universe saying, this relationship isn't good enough for you. This doesn't align with what you're deserving of. This doesn't match your effort or your energy. So we're going to remove you from the situation so that you can align with what will. So that's how sometimes our fear can trick us into believing worst case scenarios, when in reality, better things are actually happening for us. Not saying this has to have to do with a relationship. That's just a general example. But let's see. Let's get more here. Recent past for Leo. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Leo, you've been prioritizing everybody's needs, everybody's happiness, everybody's safety, security, stability, but your own. So a lot of prioritizing other people to the extent where you felt completely last on your to-do list. And that happens, especially when we're over prioritizing to begin with, and that still doesn't give us what we deserve. We'll start to prioritize more. We'll say, oh, okay, if over prioritizing isn't good enough, then I'm going to over prioritize. If putting your needs ahead of mine isn't good enough, then I'm just not going to have any needs at all. I'm going to make sure all my focus is on your needs, or whatever the case might be. If working my 9 to 5 isn't good enough, I'm going to work overtime. If working overtime isn't good enough, then I'm going to devote everything I have to this career in order to make things work. And it deepened this belief that no matter how hard you tried, no matter how much you gave, no matter how much you extended to it, that it just wasn't enough. And that was your fear reflecting back at you saying, no matter how hard you try, you're never going to get to where you want to be. And one of the things that I feel you are currently needing to see about this energy is that it wasn't about how much you were giving not being enough. It never had to do with the fact that you aren't enough. It had to do with the fact that you were investing in situations that weren't able to align with that. These situations weren't good enough for what you had to give. Not that you're better than or anything like that, but that the energy that you are deserving of receiving was more than these situations were capable or willing to provide. One more. What does Leo need to know about their recent past? Oof, painful. Because every single time a situation didn't reciprocate, it was like another freaking knife in the back. You gave a little bit, you got, nothing back. Ow, that hurt. You gave a little more, you still get nothing back. Oh, that really hurts. You give 20 times that, you still get nothing back. You go, what the hell? You sit there and start to wonder, is it ever going to be enough? And I think that that's why there were certain situations that you were removed from, or that the universe removed from your life. Remember, rejection, divine protection, and redirection. Anytime one of my favorite spiritual teachers is Gabby Bernstein, and she has this thing that she talks about often where she says, if people come to me and they say, oh, I'm getting a divorce, or I didn't get the promotion, or this situation didn't work out, she says, I'll go, congratulations. And she says, I don't say that to be insensitive or to undermine their experience, but I say that to say, Divine, when something doesn't work out, it is usually always leading you to something better. And the universe will always not let us into places where we don't belong, because what is meant for us will never pass us, and the opportunity to be happy, loved, abundant, safe, secure, whatever the case you're looking for, it always exists in our future, essentially where we're at right now. The opportunity always exists. And so what we need to understand is that when things don't work out the way that we expected, it's not the universe asking you to try harder. It's not the universe asking you to give more. It's not the universe asking you to spin your wheels and burn yourself into the ground. It's the universe asking you to trust that maybe those people and those situations weren't able to match your energy, and that it has less to do with you not being good enough and more to do with you looking for value in the wrong places. So with that in mind, let's see what you're dealing with in your current energy. You have take the lead with the Ace of Wands. Current energy for Leo. Now is a time to stand your freaking ground, Leo. Boundary up. You've seen what overgiving gets you. Nothing. You've seen what undervaluing yourself gets you. Nowhere. So now that you know that, it's time to stand up for yourself. It's time to show up in this energy of knowing who you are, what you're capable of, and what you're deserving of. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You don't need to prove that to anybody. You need to know that, and you need to show up as that. And the Seven of Wands is the epitome of that energy. It's trusting yourself so deeply that you know that you are deserving, capable, supported, loved, that you show up in that manner, so you stop giving to people in situations that don't align with that. That's what this is about. That's what taking the lead of your life is about, is you only investing in the things that are willing to invest in you. And it's a hard thing to do, but when you make that switch and you stop giving so much to things that don't align with you, you open the door for what does. So this is a time to stand your freaking ground. Know what you're deserving of, know what you're capable of, and settle for nothing less than that. Even if you have to face the fear of, well, what if nothing better comes along with it? What if this is as good as it gets? That is just your fear talking. You are deserving of what aligns with you. Current energy for Leo. This is stop settling. That's what this reading is about. Stop settling, because you don't have to. You're not meant to settle. You're meant to receive what is in alignment with your highest good. But the more you settle for what isn't good enough for you, the less you're going to be able to receive that. Now, we settle because we think we have to. Sometimes we don't even realize we're settling, and we just think that that's as good as it can get for us. So I'm not saying it's your fault, but I am saying there's a need to wake up to this idea that you are capable and deserving of so much more than wherever you've been allowing yourself to stay. What else does Leo need to know about their current energy? Want to turn all the way around or hit the table. That one didn't. Ace of Pentacles. There are opportunities all around you. I don't even think this is one specific. This feels like an abundance of opportunities. Like, you need to know that the opportunities for you to be happy, abundant, successful, loved, they're all around you. Like, there are plenty. I feel like if you're in a situation where your situation with your ex didn't work out, like, you've got options. If you're in a situation where that job didn't work out, like, people want you. You've got options. And I feel like what you're needing to know is that this is about, stop asking yourself, how can I be enough for this person? How can I, get this thing to value me? And start saying, is this enough for me? Does this align with me? Is this, is this willing to reciprocate what I have to give? This is about very much starting to show up for yourself instead of waiting for people to show up for you, and know that you have options. You have choices. There are opportunities all around you, but you might not be able to see them yet. And we don't ever see opportunities until we believe that they exist. So if you're settling and staying in places that don't align with you or don't serve you, you're not going to be able to see these opportunities when they do present themselves. What else does Leo need to know about their current energy? There's the Ace of Wands. What else? I want more on that because we already have that card. So I want a really quick shuffle. What does Leo need to know about this Ace of Wands? Because it's the same Ace of Wands you have with Take the Lead. So it's time for you to take action. It's a very action-oriented reading. It's about showing up with courage. Showing up with courage and this intensity and knowing. Oh, it's showing up with love for yourself. There it is. It's acting as if you already have what you need. Because when you act as if you already have what you need, you attract what you need. But if you act as if you don't have what you need, you will chase and you will control and you will manipulate outcomes and you'll force. And trust me, I get it, I've been there. But it never leads to anything good because those situations don't work out. It makes you feel undeserving and unlovable, and it's just this vicious cycle. But this is about showing up with the love for yourself and understanding that our relationships and our life is a reflection of that love that we have with ourselves, and learning to connect deep with that love of ourselves and understanding that you're a human being, you're doing the best you can with the knowledge that you have. You always have been. You've been trying to grow. You've been trying to show up as the best version of yourself, and you need to know that you loving you valuing you is the most important thing, because if you don't, other people will not. Other people, our relationships, they're always going to be a reflection of that which is within us. So this is about showing up, and that's why you have love in the immediate future, because when you show up with that energy, you start to attract it. I mean that with in the most literal way. I remember I was I don't remember exactly what day it was, but I remember I was driving home from work and I was dealing with just one messy situationship after another. It was all of these failed relationships with people that were just sucking the life out of me. And it was a couple months of just one after another. And I was driving home and this song came on the radio, and it's a silly song at the time. It was a TikTok song at the time. It's called Kinda Over It by Maddie Hicks. And it came on the radio, and I actually started crying. And I was I had this moment where I was basically the whole song is I'm kind of over getting undervalued. I'm kind of over getting treated like crap. And I remember I was you know what? I am kind of over it. I'm deserving of so much more than this. I don't know why I'm wasting my time trying to prove to these people that I am. And I went home as soon as I got home, I blocked all of these people on my social media. I, blocked phone numbers, and I was I'm done. I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than, continue to give my time and energy to these situations that just do not align with me. And I made this decision, and literally 2 weeks later, my mom, I wasn't even open to dating. I deleted the dating apps. I wasn't putting myself out there. My mom set me up on a blind date with my now fiance. And at the time I was not looking forward to it, because I was I just gave up relationships. I'm focusing on myself, whatever. But it happened when I least expected it, because I decided that I was deserving of more. And I know that now, which is why I scream it in every single one of my readings that I do, because when we make these decisions to say, I'm deserving of more, the universe says, hell yeah, you are. And it shows up for that energy, but it's waiting for us to show up with that energy first. So, knowing that, what can Leo expect moving forward? And it takes courage. You got to face the fear. Got to face the uncertainty. What can Leo expect moving forward? Love with the Magician. As you move forward, okay, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. As you move forward to believing that you're deserving of good things, you're going to have to fight against the part of you that doesn't believe that. And there is a part of you. We all have it. It's our shadow side. It's the part of us that's unhealed, the part of us that is triggered, is traumatized, is full of shame and guilt about things we've done in our past. We all have it, okay? As you try to step into this energy of knowing your worth and knowing your value and setting boundaries and things like that, it's gonna be freaking triggering. It is. And you have these moments where you're like, I'm so stupid. Why would I ever think I'm deserving of more? Why would I ever set that boundary? That's so embarrassing. And like, you have these moments where you feel really triggered, and it's about committing to yourself anyway and allowing yourself to get out of these limiting beliefs for yourself. I know from experience that when we decide to do things differently, our brain is like, whoa, what's going on? And it wants you to snap back into the way that things once were. And as you move forward, understanding that you are working against years and years and possibly even lifetimes of limiting beliefs that you have built up about yourself, about what you're capable of, what you're deserving of, what's possible for you in this life. And you have to understand that showing up before you even really fully believe it is actually what creates the belief. So whenever you are doubting yourself and you're doubting, oh, I shouldn't have started that business. This is so scary. I'm going to fail. There's no way I'm good enough. Those moments are going to happen. Like, it is part of the process. It's part of the journey. You cannot avoid them. But in those moments is where the future is created, because you're either going to choose to continue to show up for the version of yourself that knows that you're capable, possible, lovable, all the things, or you're going to give up on yourself and you're going to fall back into old habits and old patterns and go back to places where you don't belong. You're going to go back to settling because you think, oh, this is too scary. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. And you're going to pull backwards. So understand that most people give up right before it starts to happen for them. So if you are as you move forward on this journey and you start to show up in this new energy, you're going to experience moments where it feels like it's not working out. You're going to experience moments where you feel like nothing is going your way. So actually, going back to that story about how 2 weeks later I met my fiance, well, the week before that, so this was like 1 week after I blocked everyone, was my birthday. And my family was out of town. All of my friends were busy. And I spent my birthday feeling so utterly alone. And I just remember being like, man, never should have blocked those people. Like, I could be spending time, or never should have blocked that person, the person that I was like most recently dealing with. I was like, I could have been spending time with them, or whatever the case is. I felt so utterly alone, but I didn't go backwards. I didn't unblock. I didn't, get back on dating apps. I didn't just try to find an easy fix to that emotion. I worked through it, and then a week later is when I met my fiance. So understanding that there are going to be moments, like in that moment, I was like, wow, I have nobody and I have nothing, and that wasn't true. But obviously, when we're experiencing these emotions, it can make things feel a lot worse than they are. And I'm so glad that I didn't fall back into old patterns and I chose to move forward, because it's led me to where I am today. What else does Leo need to know about their immediate future? What was that? Something turned completely around. The world! Closing out old cycles. Leo, look at you go. This is such a cool reading for you. This is stepping into a new phase, because you're stepping into a new version of you. And when you step into a new version of you, your life is going to change to align with that version of you. The life that you're used to living is a reflection of who you used to be. The life that you're about to start experiencing is a reflection of the person that you're becoming. So you're closing out old cycles. You're not going back there. We know what those situations lead to. That's not really going to lead us anywhere good, right? So now it's about stepping into your power. I know my worth. I know I'm lovable. I know I'm deserving. And then watch your life say, like I said, the universe say, hell yeah, you are, Leo. What else does Leo need to know moving forward? It all starts to happen for you when you start showing up like this. The Temperance with the Page of Wands and the Sun. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this energy for you guys. You have to be patient though. That's the key. Because here's the Sun. This is possible. But you got to be patient. You got to get so patient where you are so grounded in this idea that you know that it's happening for you, that you are not going to settle. That's when we settle, when we say, I need to make this happen or else it's not going to happen. We settle when we say, I got to accept what I can get because nothing better is ever going to come along. And this is about breaking out of that energy of settling. Get so rooted in this belief that the universe is supporting you and guiding you and that you are deserving of good things, that you are not willing to accept anything else other than those good things because they're available for you. But you got to get patient. And that involves not falling back into old patterns whenever things get hard, whenever things feel uncertain, whenever it feels like nothing is working. It's about continuing to show up for the version of yourself and the life that you wish to create before it even happens, and understanding that the way you show up is actually what creates it in the end. So a lot of really good things I feel are starting to come into fruition for you, or are going to start to come into fruition for you. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take commitment, which is probably the biggest part of manifesting, is committing to that life and that version of yourself. But it is coming for you. It is happening for you. And you have a lot to look forward to. I really do believe that, Leo. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended, where I'm going to focus on what can you do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self. So this is what do you need to know. The extended is what can you do, and then I have an advice card to close out the reading with. Thank you so much, Leo, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Leo, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all the good things on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Leo.